Hello everyone, I am SM Sadman Sakib Shire. I am a second year CG student. Today I am going to show my NLP project. I have elective natural language processing and our team selected the project that is resume screening by using natural language processing. Let me show you my project first. So here, if I go to my project, and this is my backend, or it is in Python application. So I want to run it. Here you can see our front-end interface, our front-end, and you can see our resume categorization. It is done by me. Then resume job recommendation is done by Prakash. So if we upload a file like my resume is this one. So I upload my resume, and if I submit it, you can see here is the category, and the category of my resume is information technology. Then the recommended job is data scientist, and the extracted information is here like name, phone number, email, and skills. So it works quite fine. Now let's see the project code. Here is the project code. First of all, when we want to do a project, we need first idea, and the idea was like a resume categorization, resume job recommendation, and extract information. This was our idea. Then we need to download the data. Like we first have to load some libraries here like NumPy, Panda. We need to first load some data like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, scikit-learn, etc. Then we need to download the data. Here I already downloaded the data, the resume data.csv file, and we read this file. And here is the head part. Head function will show us the head part or the first part of our data set. It is like a ID, then category, then feature. If we go down, there is I am counting how many times every category is repeated, like information technology 120 times, business development is 120 times, like this. And the next part, I am exploring my data set. Here is the graphical representation like a bar chart or histogram, and I also have implemented pie chart using Matplotlib. Here is the pie chart. You can see teacher is 4.8% of total jobs, and designer it is also 4.8%, like art it is 1.4%, like this. So we can understand how our dataset is from this visual representation. Next part is very important, which is text cleaning. I clean URL, hashtag, mentions, special characters, and punctuation. After that, there is our balanced dataset. You can see our balanced dataset. Here we are balancing our dataset like so that it don't become biased towards any of the category. That's how we need to balance our data set. After balancing the data set, we see that everything is like around 119 and 120 categories. Then the next part is splitting. We have to split our total data into test, train, and evaluation parts. So here we are dividing it to test, X train, X test, Y train, and Y test part. And the test size you can see is 0.2. Then I use TF-IDF encoding, which is very important in today's natural language processing context. So I use TF-IDF, and then I train the data using random forest classifier. Here is the code, and after there is our also accuracy. I am printing the accuracy, and the accuracy is like 0.84, is like 84%. And after this, like there is the confusion matrix. You can see this is very important to understand like how our data is represented. And there is our predictive system. And after that, you can see the resume files. Like I uploaded some sample resume to show you my project is working. Here is HR, and there is information technology, and there is also some like a designer resume which is giving designer. So I think our project is working. So that's it from my side.
Hello everybody, my name is Prakash Srivastava. Me and Sadman have created a CV scanner or an ATS scanner. I'll give you a quick overview on how my part of the code works. My part of the code was to clean the data and give the job recommendation. So we imported pandas, we read it into a CV, and then so with that we can read it into a data frame. DF head just shows the first 5 rows of the 2 columns that we created, which are role and features. And then df column just puts them into the column role and features, and then we picked out all the roles. So it just scanned out all the strings that were under the column role, and then we wanted only to see a few features. We only wanted to see selected number of features, so we selected them and then combined them into one column, and then we deleted the original columns, and if the columns and we removed the original columns, and then we removed any other columns that were very unnecessary to it. And then the shape just shows us the dimensions of the code, and then we kept upper limit on how we kept a lower limit for how many times a role should show for it to be displayed. So we kept the count as 6500. So any role which has appeared less than 6500 will not be shown, and whichever ones are 6500 and more will be showed. And as you can see, once we run the code, it shows all the roles from top to bottom which has appeared more than 6500 times. So for a job recruiter, it's very helpful to see what type of jobs are most people proficient in. So it's a very good way of displaying data for a job recruiter. And then we filter out roles with the value count, and then we sample out whichever ones are in the 10,000 plus, and we show the first 5 of it. So so then we come into the model learning part. So TF-IDF stands for term frequency, inverse document frequency. This is for modeling the data. So we model the data into X and Y for text vectorization. This imports tools by splitting data, training a model, and measuring accuracy. So X is for text data features and Y is for job roles. So the random forest classifier, it splits the data into 80% of training. We use 80% of training and 20% of testing. So this part of the code, it converts the text features into numeric vectors using the term frequency approach, and fixes the vectors on training data and applies it to the test data. So over here we clean the resume by removing out unnecessary text. We clean it, and then we use the clean data to predict the job titles the resume holder can go for. So the next part is how we predict. So we use this as an example. As we said, it can read a CSV file too. So we created a resume file with the following stuff, and once we predicted it, once we use the predicted parameter that we created, we can actually run this, and you can see code is already run. So we created another example, and then we used it and so the summary is the code pre-processes the job dataset feature, drops underrepresented roles, and creates a job recommendation model using the random forest and term frequency approach. And then it includes a cleaning function and a prediction function to recommend job roles based on the resumes. As displayed earlier, when we used teacher, we had some information showing. So to select this, what data has been shown out of the one that has been modeled, we use PDF miner as it scans through the whole text that we create. So basically what we do is we create a certain pattern that we need to see in the data set, that when matched with the input in the CV, it gets extracted and then displayed. So over here, when we wanted to extract the contact number from a resume, we created a pattern and we created a regex. Regex means as soon as this as soon as any of the elements in the pattern of the regex takes place, imagine a plus or a number, that means still there is a number or any part of the elements of the regex that will be under phone number or the pattern. So once once whatever text it is in the PDF gets matched with the pattern, it gets stored as contact number, and then we can just call contact number, and this is how it will be displayed. So same with email, we give it a pattern, and as soon as it matches the pattern or the regex list, it gets extracted and stored. Same with skills, but skills was a bit tough as there's so many skills out there. So we had to create a predefined list of skills with almost every skill possible. So that these can be displayed in bullet points. And unluckily, if there is a skill in their PDF that does not match our list, we'll print out no skills found, as in no relevant skill the person has that is connected to the job department. So same with education, we had to give it a big list of predefined educations, and we had to match it again and give and extract it. Same with name, but name was much easier. Name was done same as numbers. We just gave it a regex and it matched the pattern. So yeah, this part shows how we after we model the data, how we selected a pattern of selected a list of data which follows a particular pattern to be displayed. So yes, this was our ATS scanner. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you liked it.